Hello and welcome to the Hotel News Now podcast. I'm Natalie Harms, a reporter for H&N, and today I'm joined by Carol Heller, Vice President for Global Brands at IHG Hotels and Resorts. Carol, it's great to see you again. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Natalie. It's great to see you again. Excited to be here.
So we're going to talk a lot about Hotel Indigo. So I want to just, to start, I wonder if you can give us some background, some history of Hotel Indigo, the
Sure.
brand as a whole, which is, over 2 decades old now.
It is. It is. We've evolved from when we first opened our doors in Atlanta, Georgia. So we opened in 2004, believe it or not, as a mid-scale prototype hotel. And then since then, we've evolved to what we are today, which is a boutique hotel in the upper upscale segment. So started as a mid-scale prototype brand, evolved to more of boutique design around kind of 2008. And that's also when we entered into the Europe market. So when we left the US for the first time, we went into the Europe market and then really started to go kind of move up and get into more sophisticated design and go into higher ADR tracks. So that really elevated kind of not only our performance, but also our design and to where we are today, which in 2017, we officially went into the upper upscale segment. So we are now almost 170 hotels globally around the world with nearly 23,000 rooms. And we have double that number, or we have that number of rooms in our pipeline. So, an exciting, truly global brand, everywhere from LA to Shanghai to Tokyo to Bali to Galapagos. So, we really have grown into kind of a powerhouse boutique brand.
Yeah, such a large evolution. What was kind of the impetus for kind of evolving in that way?
Yeah, I think the market is really lifestyle market has really been a huge growth segment for the hotel industry at large. And so I think as we saw the guest evolves need and our performance starting to elevate, we wanted to bring our design along with that. So, but what's been really nice as we've evolved our design and become more sophisticated, squarely in the upscale to upper upscale space, what we've maintained is really a flexible model for our owners. So we have a flexible model depending on where we're located, the amount of amenities you need to have, and everything. Our service model can really go from what we call kind of focus service. So from select service to full service, depending on the amenities needed for that location type. So it's really allowed our owners to elevate the ADR while having still a flexible and efficient operating model, which I think has really helped us grow as well. And, consumers' preference have shifted towards more customized, distinctive travel. And at the heart of what we've always been is around the neighborhood and bringing that neighborhood experience and local experience to life in a really rich, beautiful, and unique way. So there's an affinity for guests when they think about what we deliver each a unique experience, but at the same time, the level of consistency in terms of product and service that they can depend on. And then for the owners, getting that return with a really special and unique product in the market.
Yeah. I know IHG likes to boast that there are no two Hotel Indigo locations that are the same. And so I want to talk about the design element of that. But
Yes.
first, before we even get into that, talk me through the research process of that and how you work with owners to kind of learn the area and do something unique that other hotels haven't done.
Yeah, I love that question because local is such a baseline right now. But we really do believe that we bring kind of a special spin on that. So yeah, just as no two neighborhoods are alike, no two hotel indigos are alike. So what we do, there's a lot of things that you can find similar in Hotel Indigo. So our design quality, our service. So there's a lot of consistency that our guests love. But what they also love is just how unique each hotel is and that they know it's about bringing that local story to life in a really unique way. And so, what we do is every hotel begins from ground up with what we call the neighborhood story. And we partner with our owners. They are as involved as they want to be. We run the process. And invest in the process, but we have a journalist that we work with all around the world that go into the market pretty deep in researching and then calling local historians, calling different people in those neighborhoods in those locations to really get under what makes that neighborhood special from the past to now. So, what's unique from the people, the industry, the art community, and then we weave that together to build what we call the neighborhood story in collaboration with the owner and the design team. And then that then becomes a document that becomes kind of the design brief for the design firms to then take and build the concepts from. And that also becomes a design brief for our service program, which is called Inspire New Stories, for our food and beverage development, our uniforms, how the uniforms come to life, and then also our Viz ID. We have a unique illustration. Each hotel has a unique illustration based on that story. So it really has become this really beautiful world of stories, visually as well as experientially.
Yeah, first of all, that sounds like a cool job. I would love that job
Right?
to kind
Yes.
of get to like really know the nitty-gritty of a of a neighborhood. So,
Yeah.
and you talked a little bit about the design already, but talk us through that process and how different it is from, designing any other hotel.
Yeah, and I will also talk a little bit about something we've launched recently because we don't want to overcomplicate the process with the neighborhood story. The neighborhood story should be a guide. It should help, hopefully,
Mhm.
the design process in terms of here's your kind of North Star of, or here's your story that you're trying to bring to life through the details of the design. So we have a lot of tools for designers, like a regional guidance to understand kind of the programming of the hotel, the level of standards around quality. So there's a lot of support that we have in partnership with our architecture and design group here at IHG that we really partner with the owners, design teams throughout the process. We also have recently launched something that we call that you got to see at our design warehouse called the Design Studio, which we believe this is the industry's first customizable kit of parts. So we wanted to kind of take the mystery out of how did you design a boutique hotel and at once make it easier, faster, and have a sharp target cost, but do it in a way that still keeps our brand ethos intact because that's what owners and guests love about our brand. So we have the design studio, which is kind of a three-part program that allows owners to move faster and get to open faster, get to design faster, and make it a lot easier. And I can tell you a bit more about that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so the design studio really has kind of three components. One are design partners. So we've assembled a roster of vetted interior designers across the country, deeply versed in the brand and our standards and our expectations. They're almost like an extension of our team. So if hotel owners use these designers, they're able to actually skip steps in the design process, and the turnaround is like a 24-hour turnaround in terms of design reviews, and we'll actually come to you. Secondly, and we've also made sure that these design partners not only have great portfolios and experience in our we went from a very large crew to a smaller group, but also have a sharp cost, very competitive cost. And then the design collection is separate, and you really get the power by using all three of the components. But the design collection can be used on itself as well, by itself as well. And this is a customizable guest room case good and select public space design program and kit of parts that provides foundational drawings and tools to streamline and kickstart the process versus starting from a blank page. So, for instance, for the headboard, for the nightstands, for the desks, there's like five different kind of CADs or drawings to choose from. And then from there, what the designers get to do is take, okay, I'm going to choose this nightstand, this headboard, this desk, etc., and then really have fun designing it rather than having to start from scratch at the very beginning. And it includes headboards, bed bases, nightstands, desks, wall panels, bathroom vanities, side tables, wardrobe, amenity units. So, really fitting out the whole room at a competitive cost. And then we also have, as the third part, recommended suppliers. So, vetted by IHG, recommended case good suppliers that have pre-developed drawings of the design collection products to reduce the shop drawing turnaround time, and make sure we have great quality. And what's really awesome, if owners use all three of these components, so the partner, the collection, and the suppliers, we can reduce design time by 7 months, get a great target cost, and then also the recommended suppliers will reimburse owners for the model room. So it really allows them to accelerate the process, more efficient costs, and get an awesome product
Mhm.
in their hotels.
I think what's also really unique, and I want you to talk about it a little bit, and you got to show me around when I was in Atlanta. But tell me about the IHG Design Center and what opportunity that provides you guys to show potential owners or current owners on that design floor.
Sure, absolutely. We had, yeah, our design center is an exciting place because it's almost like our test bed where we can go in and bring consumers in and work on our design in real time to make sure we're getting consumer feedback and owner feedback, and making sure it all kind of works together. So we feature all of our mainstream brands there. So like it's literally like going down a corridor where all of our brands are on that corridor, with their different room types. So you can go actually kind of feel and see and touch what those room designs look like. And even is a premium brand. Even Hotels is our was our first premium brand to enter along with our mainstream brands at the Design Warehouse. And then we have entered, at the end of last year when we had the design program. We now are there, so we're able to really showcase our design program space at the Innovation Warehouse. Is a little bit different. It is a room, as you saw, it's a room that's literally cut in half, and so we have two neighborhood stories. We're in Atlanta, so East Atlanta, West Atlanta, and then we've cut the room in half to show how different this one program can come to life depending on the story and how you design it for the story. So it's been a really fun way to show the diversity and versatility of the program, but also the quality. And then we also have a digital tool and a website that we can probably put in the notes of the podcast that really brings the program to life and shows the case studies that we've done, the different components that we're also able to showcase at the Design Warehouse. But the Design Warehouse is a really fun place for not only owners and consumers, but for us to really make sure that we're building our concepts fit for the future, but also fit what's right for our owners long term.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about getting the owner feedback. I wonder if you can share, what do you hear from owners who you take through this process, both at the design center, but also, as they go through the actual build out of their hotel? What are they telling you?
Absolutely. So I will say we just launched this. It's now April. We just launched this at the end of last year. So what's been
Mhm.
exciting is we're starting to kind of enroll hotels that are in the right like process of the pipeline that have said, "Hey, I want to do this program." But I will say, in developing this program, we worked hand in hand with our owners association. So a group of owners who, some of our best owners of Hotel Indigo that own and operate Hotel Indigos were actually on a task force as we developed this. So we ensured they were very diligent in ensuring that it's gonna be fit for not only the owner, but also for the guest, because they're passionate about keeping kind of the brand special. So they were with us to understand, are we hitting the right target costs? Are these the right number of design firms? Are these the right suppliers? How do we vet this program that you're going to feel comfortable enlisting into yourself? So they were a huge part of that, and they're really a extension of proud of as we are about how it's come to life. But what's been exciting as we've been working with our new hotels that are in like the beginning process or that we're signing right now, and they see the program, we're hearing a lot of, "Oh my gosh, why hasn't anyone done this before? This makes so much sense." So it's been really exciting as we kind of bring owners along on this process to see them sign up. But I'm hopeful by the end of this year, I'll be able to tell you how a few hotels have actually installed this program.
Yeah. I feel like it's like you're giving owners like the ability to have their cake and eat it too, and to really kind of create a custom, location specific experience, but still under the IHG brand. So it kind of have like both perks, right?
Absolutely. It's like you're exactly right. You get all the benefit of the IHG enterprise, right? And kind of how we can accelerate the speed to market while getting this bespoke custom hotel that really pays homage to its location. It's been an exciting ride for Hotel Indigo. If you think about IHG at large, we launched a new loyalty program in 2021, a big master brand advertising campaign that Hotel Indigo is actually a halo brand for. So we had a big camp. We had the launch of the loyalty program, a big Hotel Indigo specific campaign. IHG spent the most money they did on any brand in 2023 on Hotel Indigo to go big on Hotel Indigo. And since the loyalty program launched in 2021, we actually have seen the highest increase in loyalty contribution. We've seen like over 15 points of loyalty contribution growth for Hotel Indigo, and our awareness has grown over 10 points since the launch of our campaign. So there's so much momentum for this brand and affinity from a guest perspective, but at the same time, from an owner perspective, they're seeing that ROI and that enterprise contribution, to your point about the IHG engine, really start deliver more now than ever too. So I think,
Mhm.
we're delivering it from an enterprise, sales perspective, but also from this design perspective. How can we take our procurement efficiency? How can we take the power of IHG and infuse that into boutique design? Was really our challenge.
So I love talking about the abstract and kind of the theory of Hotel Indigo, but let's talk about a couple hotels specifically. I know the most recent Hotel Indigo to open, if I'm not, mistaken, is the Hotel Indigo Auckland. Is that
Yes.
okay? So tell me a little bit
Yes.
about that one and kind of what's unique about that property.
Well, what's exciting is, we've seen a lot of growth in that region, specifically Japan, as well. We're one of the, I think, biggest growth drivers for that region, which has been so exciting to see. But entering New Zealand was really exciting. So this was our first property there, and it's located on a historic site of a 1912 motor house that imported Cadillacs into New Zealand. So Hotel Indigo, we have a lot of historic properties, which is always really a fun way to come into a neighborhood story, right? So our the Auckland's design pays homage to its industrial past with an exciting mix of heritage listed and modern architecture. So it has really stunning interiors and gallery kind of artworks that really makes it an immersive cultural experience. And one thing I think that was really done exceptionally well here is we've commissioned several local artists to be a part of kind of the design of the hotel. And that includes one kind of pretty acclaimed contemporary artist and photographer in New Zealand, Stuart Robertson. And so he's curated a bespoke expedition spanning all 25 floors. So each level tells a different, distinct story of Auckland through a lens of capturing the fabric of the neighborhood and its modern day popular culture. So each floor you get to get a different sense of kind of that lens of the local neighborhood. And then we also commissioned renowned stylist Simone Hogg, who really transformed the hotel's lobby into a showcase of local art. So it features handcrafted paintings, wooden sculptures, ceramic glasswork, woven pieces, and leather creation. So multidisciplinary artists, architects, and designers. So bringing a lot of different types of art and artists to life. But what we do a lot is we have some fun with our neighborhood stories and our history, especially of our historic locations. What's been fun is a couple things. One, it is one of Auckland's tallest buildings. So our hotel boasts floor to ceiling windows with breathtaking views of the city, which what's better than that, right? And it spans 27 floors and a 41-story tower. So the design of it really also embraces the motorage heritage. So the hotel's 225 rooms feature kind of automotive inspired touches, such as rear view mirrors above the king beds, industrial style open wardrobes, headlamp lighting, pegboard shelving, upholstery reminiscent of classic car interiors. So again, having some fun and paying back to the history, but giving it that modern twist.
I love that.
So
That
it's
sounds so
truly a
cool.
stunning property. I know. I wish I could go to all our new hotels around the world. I have not been to that one yet, but yeah, it's an exciting entrance into an exciting market.
So that sounds awesome, and it's really cool to kind of get to zoom in on that specific hotel and kind of learn about that process specifically. So you mentioned earlier that you have that you're doubling the portfolio for Hotel Indigo. So tell me a little bit about what's driving this momentum to really kind of grow that brand.
Yeah, I think we touched on it a bit earlier around kind of a couple things. One around consumer preference, but also the owner dynamic. So I think what's really nice about Hotel Indigo is we really truly own this white space. So we're at once a boutique upper upscale brand that each location is unique, as we've talked about, but we are not at a luxury price point. right? And so most often when you go to find this unique boutique experience, it's usually at a luxury price point. So we really kind of democratized that in terms of ADR, not only for guests, but also for owners, right? So the ability to not have to build a luxury type building, but at a more upscale to upper upscale kind of build cost is more efficient for owners. But the guest gets to enjoy all of kind of the benefit of that boutique experience in amazing locations around the world, which has been really exciting. I think also our model is really adaptable to kind of two things. One, location type. So, we've had a long history of urban and kind of destination drive to locations, but also college markets, especially in Americas, has been a true sweet spot for us. But we're really taking off in the resort market. My family and I just enjoyed a vacation last week at our property Grand Cayman, which has been open for a year, which is a fantastic property. We've got Galapagos, we've got all over the world, Bali, which was our first resort. So resorts are a huge part of our current estate, but even more so our pipeline. And then so I think it's about the diversity of the location type that we can enter into, but also the diversity of the building type. So everything obviously from new build, but adaptive reuse. Historic is a huge piece of our estate, but also conversion from one hotel to a Hotel Indigo. So, especially as the conversion market has heated up, Hotel Indigo is absolutely a conversion brand in the right location with the right box. So, I think it's the adaptability of the brand, the flexibility for the owners, and the uniqueness for our guests.
Yeah, it really does feel like Hotel Indigo is kind of in its new era. So I wonder if, just to wrap up, you can talk to me a little bit about what's going to define this new era. I know if no one has a crystal ball, but if you can kind of look down the road a few years and
Yeah.
maybe even a decade, how will the brand and IHG look back on this, period of growth and this particular era?
No, that's an excellent question. I think the growth of the brand and the era is I'm always so proud of how our estate shows up globally so consistent, right? So, talking about the hotel we just opened in Auckland versus the last one we just opened in Westchester, Pennsylvania, they both are bringing the story to life in a beautiful, premium, upscale way, but that has fun and has character and has soul that we've kind of codified for Hotel Indigos, and consumers are really have the affinity to that. And since the awareness is growing and will continue to grow, especially as our pipeline continues to grow and us and being a halo brand for the master brand, I think that affinity will continue to grow and really drive demand. And for owners, I think with the new design programs that we're launching and really having an eye to the ROI and what we're doing from a loyalty contribution and what the performance that we're seeing, the momentum that we're seeing, I think it's going to be exciting to see this brand truly grow around the world, both from an owner and consumer demand perspective in a really beautiful way.
Yeah, well, I look forward to watching that growth and seeing that development. I think that's a wonderful place to end our conversation today. So thank you so much for joining me, Carol.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Natalie.
Hi, I'm STR's Isaac Colazo.
And I'm co-stars Jan Freitag. And together we are the data geeks behind Tell Me More, a hospitality data podcast on the Hotel News Now podcast network.
Every month, we bring you a fresh take on the latest hotel data, insights into the travel trends behind that performance, and the big picture topics you should be thinking about.
And we also don't mind getting into some good-natured disagreement from time to time. Hey, when Isaac and I start talking data together, anything can happen, and it usually does.
Find us on hotelnewsnow.com and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen. Search for Hotel News Now, and thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Hotel News Now podcast. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Just search for Hotel News Now and find news online every day at hotelnewsnow.com.
This episode of the Hotel News Now podcast network was recorded on April 24th, 2025 by Natalie Harms and edited by Rachel Dobb.